Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back for another video. My name is Kanisha and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I adopted this principle of living my life of quality over quantity. Now, if you know me, you understand that this is something that I not only speak on or that I not only talk about, but this is truly what I live by in every single aspect of my life. And I'm going to get into that on this video of how living a life of quality over quantity has truly changed my life for the better. It's literally elevated my life. It's helped me to grow. It's made my life more simplified, more peaceful, and just overall better. So let's just get right into it today. Living by quality over quantity. Now, first of all, let me just define what it means to have a quality life. Quality means that you are living a life that has worth and value to you. Okay, living a life of quantity means that you have a lot. You just have a lot in every aspect. And while having an abundance of things is wonderful, it's not bad at all. Sometimes in life, we can desire to have so much stuff around us that we're not really paying attention to the quality. How good is the quality of our lives? I was younger, when I was probably like 10, 12 years ago, I used to always want to obtain the most money possible. There was a time in my life specifically where I worked 3 jobs. Yes, there was a time in my life before I was married, I was single, I was out of college. I had 3 jobs at one time because my motive at that time was to make as much money as I possibly could. And I was trying to stack my paper. I was trying to be a CEO of someone else's company. I was trying to climb the corporate ladder. All my desires and what I really wanted out of life was completely different than what I want out of life now. And I'm not saying anything I wanted out of life at the time was bad. It was just different to who I am today. So as you're watching this video, I'm not here to say that if you want to have a lot of things or you want to have an abundance of things, I'm all for an abundant life. However, to me, an abundant lifestyle means having quality of life. What good would it be for me to have $25 million and I'm sick and I can't enjoy my life? You have people who have a lot of money. You have people who have the best jobs. You have some people who have everything they could want and they're still unfulfilled. Really coming from a place of authenticity with how I live my life, this is what has worked for me and I hope you guys enjoy it. So 1, staying true to your personal standards in life. Know what you desire in your life, know what type of lifestyle you want, know what type of relationships you want. When I was younger, I always aspired to have good friends in my life. I've always loved and valued my friendships. But I found myself being in compromising situations before I adapted this principle of quality over quantity. So for example, I can remember being in some friendships or some connections where others were not exactly feeling the way about me that I felt about them. And I never really took the time to step back and see what this person was adding to my life, if this friendship was truly mutual, if this person really truly liked me, or if they were just being around me for their own personal gain or for another reason. But now that I have started to live by this principle of quality over quantity, I don't desire for everyone to be my friend. I don't really desire to have a lot of friendships. While I am open to new friendships, I've always believed in being open to new connections and valuable people. I am no longer in a place where if I meet someone and they're nice, I just automatically assume that they're a good friend. Because I've learned that the quality of people around you is more important than the quantity of people around you. And that has really changed my life for the greater. Now I actually have some amazing connections. I have people in my life that I really consider true friends. And it doesn't matter to me how many of those people are in my life, as long as they are serving a purpose, as long as it's mutual, and as long as we both are, benefiting from being in each other's lives. That is what's most important to me. That used to be another thing that I dealt with and was a challenge for me at times, is wanting to help everybody. It's like I just couldn't leave that person on the ledge. I just had to step in and do something for them. Now I know when it's time for me to really step in and help someone. And now I know when it's time for me to kind of sit back and tell them, hey, I'm praying for you. I'm wishing the best for you, but I may just not be able to help them immediately at that time. And I realize now that that is okay. Sometimes we have to step back and be content with ourselves and be content with the portion that we have. We don't even understand that in always needing somebody around you, you are crutching your personal development. You're sometimes crutching your personal growth, because there are just times in your life where you have to learn to be content with you. And take a step back and really evaluate your life and see what people in my life right now are really adding to my life, what people are enriching my life, what people are really helping me. And if you have a number of people around you that are always draining you, that are always putting you down, that are always taking advantage of you, that are always pulling on you and never really giving back to you, then you may need to really take a step back and modify some of those relationships. I'm not saying just cut them off. I'm not saying be harsh, but you really do need to make a line for yourself. You really do need to raise the standard for yourself and say, you know what, I want to live a life of quality from now on. I don't need to always talk to this person just because they're comfortable, just because they're always around, maybe just because they're my family member and I'm just used to always calling them every time I have an issue, but not realizing that their help is not really helpful. Another way that I've changed my life in the aspect of quality over quantity is when it comes to things that I possess. So when I was growing up, I always had an abundance of clothes. And what this did to me at a younger age is that I kind of lacked value in clothes because I just got so bored with getting new clothes. You know, they say that sometimes when you have too much of things, you don't really know how to appreciate what you have. So as I got older, I really had to reprogram my mind into understanding that even though I grew up having an abundance of clothing, that as an adult, I don't need a ton of clothes, especially now. It seems like the older I get, the more minimal I become when it comes to my attire. This is just me. I know ladies that we love to have all these type of shoes. I mean, we just love to have a closet full of stuff. We love to have all these different options. And while options is amazing, again, I'm not talking negatively if you have an abundance of things, but I'm just talking about for me. I'm at the point in my life where I'd rather have quality pieces in my closet, staple pieces, things that are classic, timeless, and that align with what I like, than to just have a ton of clothing. And that brings me to my next point. I've learned how to release things in my life that no longer serve me a purpose. Life is really about the quality of things. That has changed the way we live in our home as well. So in our home, I know I do not like any type of clutter. Hoarding items is something that we definitely don't do in our home. We are quick to release something out of this house that no longer serves us a purpose, because the quality of living when it comes to your home, for me, like, I really can be productive. I feel very peaceful when I walk into my home and it's spacious. It's not cluttered. There's not stuff all over the floor. There's not stuff just piled anywhere. I honestly feel like everything in your house has a home. Of course, sometimes you may not be able to put everything right back right at the moment, but I know for me, like, before I go to bed, I put things where they go. This just produces a clean house. This just produces a mindful home of peace, not a lot of clutter, and you can actually find your things. Sometimes living a life that desires so much quantity, it can really cause you to be a hoarder. It can cause you to keep things in your life that you really do not need because you're afraid of letting go. And so that's one way that I've been able to incorporate quality over quantity when it comes to our home. This leads me to my next point. Living life of quality over quantity means that you become more selective with your time. Time is something that once you spend it, you can't get it back. So living a life of quality over quantity means I'm being more aware of where my time is being spent. I'm being more aware of what I'm doing with my time, because I realize that it's all about the quality of my time and not how much time I feel like I don't have. People who don't really understand this principle, you'll find them saying a lot of things like, I wish I could work out more, wish I could get more healthy. I just don't have time. When the truth is, we all have time, but living quality over quantity means I'm more conscious of where I place my time. Well, I do not want to be everywhere doing everything with everyone for every purpose. Why? Because I have a purpose in my life. I have a clear vision in my life of where I want my life to be, what direction I want my life to go in, and who I want to become as an individual. Therefore, every decision that I make every single day, in my subconscious, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, is this aligning me to where I want to go? Even for something as so small as what I eat. Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect and you have to write down all your food. I'm not saying you have to be so strict, but you do want to think about when you consume food in your body, is this helping you with your personal goals? Is this helping you become the person that you say that you want to be? I know for myself, I have so many life goals, and I know one of my goals is to maintain my health as much as I possibly can. I know that I have control and I have a responsibility on the outcome and the quality of my body. Will I age comfortably, or will I age in turmoil or in pain all the time because of some decisions that I might have made throughout my life? So when it comes to foods that I eat and how I take care of my body, I take that very seriously, to the point where I understand it's good to have a life of balance. It's good to enjoy yourself. I love a good dessert. I love a good piece of fried chicken or whatever, but I don't do it so much to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm leaning to a place that I don't want to be for my physical health. I know that there are certain keys that God gave me to unlock, and there's certain keys that He gave me to either keep those locks on those doors or open up those doors by the decisions that I make. And I want to encourage you, whoever's watching, to think about that when it comes to your diet, when it comes to how you treat your body. Just take time to say, what are some things in my life that I can elevate for myself so that I can live a good life here on this earth, so that I can increase the quality of my life. It could be something so simple as drinking more water. It could be something so small as, eating less sugar and eating more fruits and veggies. Very simple things, but can change your life for the better. And a lot of times it's really hard for people to understand that this matters because they've never given themselves a chance to try. And the final way that quality over quantity has really changed the way I think and the way I live is what I spend my money on. How I invest my money has really changed. There used to be a time when I enjoyed just buying nice things, having nice things, and that really hasn't changed too much. But now I look at things as more of an investment versus just spending. Simplicity has become a part of my life. One thing my husband and I enjoy doing is traveling. We travel quite a bit. I can't even count the number of trips we've taken, the number of road trips we've taken, the number of flights that we've been on since we've been married and even before. But what I'll say is, because we live by quality over quantity, we make all of our trips count. So even though we really like to travel and we love a good trip, we don't just travel and spend our money aimlessly. Most of the time when we travel, we are paying little to nothing. Even though we do have the money to travel full price if we desire to, most of the time we just don't, because we're always trying to make our trips worthwhile. We're like, we feel so good about this trip because we did not break the bank. We did not go into debt. We did not, spend unnecessary money for this trip. We just value that so much in our lives. As I told you guys in the beginning, that my idea of success was very different than it is now. Having a huge house, a huge car, and all of the things. But now, although I still enjoy quality thing, my mindset and my goals behind that is completely different. Thinking about my career in the most recent years, 2.5 years ago, going through a whole career change where I was making good money on the job that I was at, but I began to be so unfulfilled and so unhappy because I no longer felt like it was serving a purpose. Standards of that career in that company no longer aligned with my standards as a person. That job started to get away from my personal convictions and my personal standards for myself. I knew it was time for me to shift gears, and I was blessed to operate in the field that I am now. I just knew this was time for me to do this. I honestly say the quality of my life in just changing jobs has gone up so much. The type of work that I do, it's so very fulfilling because I'm doing something that I love. So although the work, I wouldn't call the work easy by any means, because every day, you have your challenges of every job no matter what, but those challenges feel so much less stressful than the previous job because I'm operating in what I find to be quality of work. Quality of life at home has changed because I'm not in the office for 11 hours. I don't work 11-hour days. It's changed so much because before I used to come home and I'd be so tired, I'd do laundry, I'd cook dinner, I'd do all of my responsibilities or contributions to the home, but I just felt so tired. Now I'm able to be more supportive to my husband. I'm able to be more supportive in my responsibilities, my passions, and my purpose. I have more time to do other things. You make the decision to live by quality over quantity, your mindset will change, and you will no longer feel like you have to climb a ladder, that you'll have to obtain finances or platforms or opportunities or people outside of what aligns to you. You will be able to stay true to yourself, and your life will show in every way possible. You will have an assurance, a peace, and just a joy about the quality of your life when you take a step back and say, you know what? This upcoming year, it doesn't matter if everybody doesn't agree with what I want to do. If this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to go with. So that is what I have. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you have anything in your life that you are adopting by this principle or something you're already living by of living quality versus quantity, let me know in the comments, because I want to know how you're going in your self-growth journey and what's making your life better. As always, thank you guys so much, and don't forget to be great on purpose, and I will see you in the very next video.